Welcome everyone back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree. Here today I am joined by Goresh. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the characters that are in the preview for the first anniversary of Legends. The banner should be coming up in a couple of days. I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. We're going to talk about all the characters in the preview. We will also follow up and talk about the new free-to-play Red VEGITO. Hope you guys enjoy. Hit that subscribe if you're new. Make sure you check out Goresh. Link will be down below. Goresh, I know who you're most excited for.
It's no secret. It is no secret.
Yeah,
I've been waiting. I've been farming equips. I've been training up. You know, I'm ready.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, I literally, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I got to go call Goresh. I literally called this man at like 3 a.m. I was like, just check Legends. Oh, man. So, yeah, and I'm also going to take a couple of victory laps for this, too, because I'm still juiced about the fact that my prediction video, my top candidates were the Resurrection F trio, the Goku and Vegeta Blue, and Golden Frieza, and all of them came, and in fact, the Resurrection F outfits. And then VEGITO and BUUHAN, who is also on this list, is nuts. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, you literally got everything correct, except for like the EXs, but that's like impossible to get.
Yeah, I didn't even bother trying to predict EXs. But, all right, so the first thing we're going to do is just kind of read the post and go from there. We're going to give you guys some speculation. By the way, guys, let us know who you think is the most hype, who you want the most, etc. So really quick, though, I want to mention this. So in the game news, I tweeted about this. If you don't follow me or Goresh on Twitter, make sure you do. But I tweeted about this. In the game news, there's no actual announcement date for the banner, like when it actually comes up. So one thing that was happening was, and it looks like it might have been corrected, but this morning when this stuff came out, it was saying for me that the banner was dropping, well, the announcement was labeled at 6:30, or not 6:30 day, but like June 30th. Some people had July 1st as a date. Now when I log in, it says May 30th, which would have been yesterday, which is the announcement date. So that's fine. But just for future reference, just because there's confusion around this, because in the details, it doesn't actually tell you the time that the banners drop. Generally speaking, you can tell based on legends.dv.space the announcement going away. Normally, by the way, banners do come out the following day, but it appears this is coming out in a couple of days. So on the 2nd, which whatever day that would be for you, right? On the 2nd at reset, basically, at 11 o'clock. So that's when this should be coming out. So in a couple of days. So what is that, Sunday? I think that's Sunday. So
yeah, it's Sunday. It's Sunday night for most people in the United States.
Going into Monday morning, right?
Yeah, because my preview says June 3rd, 2 a.m. Eastern time. So that would be, you know, if you're PST, that would be then 11 p.m. on the 2nd, which is a Sunday.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. So regardless, though, guys, this stuff should be coming out sometime in the next few days. So this summon will be available as a deluxe step-up summon for the first 7 days. Ooh, what's deluxe? Oh, what's that?
Yeah, so I think, so if we read more, it says, the second bullet, 7 days after the commencement of the summon event, the summon will no longer be available as a step-up summon. So if you guys play Dokkan, this sort of reminds me of the whole, you know, 3 multis.
3 and 1 free. Yeah.
So I think the deluxe part of the step-up could be referring to maybe you get like extra discounts or maybe boosted raids or something. I'm not saying, nothing's confirmed. It's just, you know, what I'm thinking based off of the wording they're using.
Yeah, and it's a little hard to pinpoint because each of their step-ups has been different anyway for the most part, each one they've done. And also this is the anniversary time, so we really don't know what they're going to do for something like this. But they do mention deluxe, which I'm pretty sure they've never said before in a step-up. So, but this the line you just highlighted is good because people also always kind of hate step-ups or whatever, even though if you play this game, for the most part, you should be probably trying to save for step-ups because they are the better banners, just overall value-wise. But, you know, I won't discount the fact that people also don't like step-ups because they can't do singles or they can't do daily discounts, which it appears they'll be bringing back for this after the 7 days. So don't quote me on that, but it appears that might be coming back. But one thing that's interesting here is they did go ahead and split up the blues. So keep that in mind. Also, they do mention in here that the number of steps in the summon will not reset when the date changes. So that's something that, again, people were confused about, not sure about. If you used it right on the last step-up banner, it was a good feature, right? But other than that, it does appear this banner isn't going to reset. So we're going to actually take a look at the banners themselves. So new characters, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. We have Super VEGITO and Golden Frieza arrive in Sparking Rarity. So we have a blue Goku, a green Golden Frieza, and we also do have the purple Legends Limited Super VEGITO, alongside the EX Beerus and EX Janemba, all on one banner. So yeah, actually corrected an error with the displayed element. I guess Beerus's element was wrong initially. There's a little note
Yeah,
for
it,
that.
it was. I'm pretty sure it was purple at
Purple?
first. And they
Yeah, I
changed it
think it
to
was
yellow.
purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that
Um,
makes sense.
and just something to note. I really hope that I know with the last step up banner they had like sort of themed steps where like one step would give you this and another step would give you that, and there's one step that gave you all EX
All
units. I
EXs, yep.
really hope they keep that because
That
there's
step was
there's
nuts.
4 new EX units coming out, and it's gonna be hell to pull those without some sort of EX gimmick.
They have got to know how hard it is to pull EXs. It doesn't make any sense. The new EXs, anyway, on their premium banners. So, Goresh, like I said, I know who you're most hyped for. But do you want to kind of explain a little bit of why you're most hyped for some of those characters?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just go through like the sort of structure of these banners. So first, I just want to mention that it looks like they're releasing 9 new units in total because there's 5 on each banner, but Super Vegito is on both banners.
Oh, we didn't cover the second banner, so we'll just do that really quick. We have SSGSS Vegeta, purple. We have BUUHAN, Ultimate Gohan Absorb Majin Buu, green regen, obviously. Super Vegito makes his way onto both banners as the Legends Limited unit. We have Whis and Chilled as EXs on this banner, so shout out to Whis for finally making it into the game. Legends Limited thing I want to mention really quick before you proceed, though. Legends Limited, I think, will just be Goten rates. You know how Goten had a fourth of the natural rate of a regular Sparking, so they just dipped his rate. They seem to, and we said this back when Beerus was released and then when Gohan was released as well, with Legends Limited units, that they seem to be generating a pool for those types of units. It reminds me a lot of how Dokkan has the LRs or whatever the case is, but just handled a little bit differently. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that he's going to be ticket locked. It's possible, but based on the last model for Legends Limited, which was the Family Kamehameha Gohan, or Goten, excuse me, they did not do the ticket thing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So
And then in terms of just like the teams and the tags that these units have, so at least from my perspective, it looks like they're trying to fill in the gaps that some of these teams have in the meta right now. So, for example, the God Key team obviously is not competitive even remotely at all right now, just because there isn't that many characters in the tag yet. But they're adding, Goku, Blue Vegeta, and these two new EX Whis and Beerus cards. So like they're adding 4 new units to the tag, which is a lot. And I think they're doing this on purpose because if you look at the team right now, you have the Green Beerus, you have the Super Saiyan God Goku, the Super Saiyan God Vegeta, and then you have like Zamasu who doesn't even buff that team. So it's like they're just trying to fill in the holes that the team has, and I think that's pretty healthy for the game. And then next we take a look at Golden Frieza. Obviously, I think the Lineage of Evil team is good, but I don't think it's to the level of like Regen or Sun Family or one of those teams,
Yeah.
like females. So I think them deciding to release Golden Frieza right now is a good decision, and we'll see because I think green is a good. Definitely a good typing for him because Lineage has the final form cooler, or not final form, the green cooler unit on their team, but he's not, he's good, but he's not top tier. So him being green is pretty good, especially with all the blue units that are currently in the meta. You have final form cooler, this new Goku coming out, the Super Saiyan Gohan from the family Kamehameha banner, and all these blue units that are pretty prominent. Blue Gogeta, and then I mean these EXs. We look at Beerus, Janemba, and then Whis and Chilled. Chilled, goes into the same boat. I don't really like the final form Frieza, the yellow one on the Lineage of Evil team, just because he doesn't buff the team at all and doesn't really provide any utility in whatsoever. So hopefully Chilled can bring something different. Whis, I'm hoping is a support for God Key, which probably is what's going to end up happening.
I think that's most likely.
Yeah.
By the way, can I mention that both of these new God Key support or EXs are probably going to be better than Beerus? Can we mention that?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the EXs they've released recently, like the GT Trunks EX, amazing.
That card is nuts.
The purple armored Trunks is also amazing. You have Evil Boo, who's really good, and then you have this new Videl, who's like honestly one of the best cards in the game.
Yeah, and you have you have all of the EXs that have come out on like the last like 8 or 9 new banners or something. They're all nuts, man. Lord Slug was decent. You have the yellow Bulma, who was really good.
I forgot about her. I don't
You
have
have
like
the
any of the
TN
new
who's pretty
exes.
solid. Yeah, like there's a lot of good EXs that have come out recently. It's
Yeah,
nuts, man.
I'm hoping that these EXs can sort of fill in like the gaps of these teams because I mean even for regen, like the sparking Janemba has fallen off a lot recently. So I'm not saying that you can't run both these Janembas on the same team for regen, but I expect this Janemba to be head and shoulders better than the sparking version of Janemba.
Yeah,
So
basically. I never was a huge fan of the purple Janemba anyway, but I do see your point. He doesn't get a lot of play due to options that are on the team now. But
yeah,
speaking of regen, that BUUHAN is going to be interesting.
yeah, I was gonna talk about it next, but like the only sort of green prominent unit for regen that I could think of is the
It's
Piccolo.
Piccolo. Yeah, Boo is in need of a buff, but it's Piccolo.
Oh, Feppu, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because Piccolo, I don't know, because I got to top 40 in the world last season in PvP using Lineage and Sun Family,
Hmm.
and I can tell you right now that even with Piccolo's cover cut active, the Goten still absolutely can
Yeah,
one combo him like easily.
shreds him
Yeah,
completely. Piccolo is still one of their better units, I think. I think you're forming a team around like Cell, Piccolo, and Slug. It's really good anti-meta counter, or like putting Piccolo in spots is good. But if you're up against specific good purples, you just don't touch him. He's not good enough. Even the
yeah,
SS3 Goku still shreds him because of the anti-regen and melee power. Like he's just not. He's good, but he isn't crazy good. So I don't know
yeah.
if BUUHAN will be able to counteract any of those same deficiencies, but I think he'll be another solid offensive option because that's one thing that Regen up until Cell and Slug came out was lacking is they didn't have too much offensive firepower.
Yeah, and also like I said earlier, there's been a lot recently of like meta defining blue units in the game. Like Final Form Cooler, the Super Saiyan Gohan, we
Slug.
have Blue Gogeta, Slug, Ribrianne, Blue
Oh yeah,
Bardock,
Ribrianne.
Super Saiyan Bardock still is really good. I mean, there's a lot of really good blue units. So I think green is one of the premium typings right now in the game.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. So how do you feel about? You kind of already covered Vegeta and Goku in one, but what about VEGITO?
Yeah, so he's kind of a wild card, honestly. But I think we're about to talk about the free Vegito,
Yep.
but the fusion team hasn't really been a competitive team as of right now. But I think even without the Super Vegito, I think that the addition of this free Vegito is enough to push them into like the discussion of being like one of the best teams.
They have
So
some nuts Z abilities, man.
I know,
Unfortunate
yeah,
that some of them are, well, most of them are tied to being 5-star and beyond. But if you can get them there, they have some nuts Z ability.
yeah, and I'm really happy that they decided to group the Patara and Fusion Dance units into the same tag. I knew they would do that, but like there was always that small chance that maybe they wouldn't.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was talking about. Is like I just because I'm always the one that tries to temper expectations. I tried to do that last night with the banner stuff, but still had people coming for my head. But whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
like
don't
I
know.
was like,
I just think Super Vegito, like from what we've been able to see from the exhibition match, which is it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to sort of get like a taste of how good he could be. He seems insane. So I'm
definitely better than any
expecting,
other unit that's here.
yeah, I'm
And he's
expecting a
also a
team.
purple replacement. Sorry to cut you off for the
Oh yeah, no
Gotenks, who
problem.
is in dire need of a buff.
Yeah, that Gotenks is not good.
He's got a nuts Z ability though.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they kind of had to slap that onto him in order to make him like
Strike
attractive
and
at all.
blast
Yeah.
attack. So yeah, he's still on the bench.
But I think a team with this Super Vegito plus the new free Vegito, and then the blue
Blue
Gogeta is going to
Gogeta.
be
Yep.
your go-to fusions team. Honestly, it just looks absolutely insane. And
Yeah.
then something else to note also is that you can just put this Vegito on a Saiyan team too.
Yeah, that's one thing to always mention, and this applies to even the Goku and Vegeta on the list as well, the new ones. Like, when it comes to these Saiyan characters, they'll always be good because they'll always have ample opportunity to be good based on the, like, benches they can have.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, even if like when you look at the exhibition match that they had, like the guy was using a Saiyan team with all these three new units on the same team, and they could work together for all we know. Like we don't know what their kits are yet, but from what we know of, from being able to use them in that like new mode or new event or whatever they release, like you could try them out. It's possible that they work very well together.
yeah, we'll see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the free red sparking Vegito. A couple of things to note. First thing is he is a defense type. Again, we already talked about how he has the Fusion Warrior tag. Coupled with Potara, he is not getting the Fusion tag, which is just basically the Fusion Dance, which is what the other ones have. So he has insanely high defensive stats. I believe he's got some of the higher ones in the game, at least top 10. And
Yeah.
also HP is really high, and his attack stats aren't so great, but I mean he's a free unit, has nuts defense, and that's fine. So his first ability, his first ability is the real fun is just beginning. Restores own health by 25%, which is a good amount. Inflicts all enemies with no switching as well for 10 counts. You need 20 counts to use that ability. Healing and then just a casual no switch is nuts. I'll take that.
The no switching thing has always been one of the best.
It's always been good. Yeah, ever since I believe it was Bardock that came out with it, it was nuts. And then Green Boo comes out with it. He enters the battlefield, no switching. It's just nuts for at least that unit's relevance.
And just to quickly point out something regarding his stats, if you look at Ribrianne under level 2000 5-star max soul boost, this Vegito actually has higher defenses than Ribrianne does.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Ribrianne has higher like attack stats, like in terms of strike, but Vegito has higher defenses.
And Ribrianne is, I think one of the top like 5 units in the game right now.
Yeah, I have her at number 1. Just letting you guys know.
See, well, that's why I said I think, because I'm not gonna go as edgy as you are. I know you're gonna put her number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ribrianne is nuts, guys. So yeah, this guy's got some really comparable good stats overall. Unique ability, the following effects occur from battle start for 30 counts. Restores 20% of damage received after enemy attack is over. Restores up to 20% of health. Interesting. -5 to own strike and blast arts cost. Wait, so anything that comes his way for 30 counts, he recovers up to 20% of that?
Yeah, and let me tell you guys how absurd this is.
This is nuts.
You guys might be familiar with a unit called Zamos.
Yeah.
And he only restores 10% of his health after receiving a combo.
This is nuts.
And then Vegito restores double that. But given it's only for the first 30 timer counts, but that's still really good.
Yeah, Zamasu does do 10%. Holy crap. I mean, he also does recover after KO and has cover cut. But still, this is nuts. Also, the -5 to own strike and blast arts costs, just because, man. Just because.
Yeah, they just put that there. It's like, oh, we need something to add a sentence to this. It's too short. Okay.
Just because. Wow. The second unique ability here, the following effects occur if 30 timer counts have elapsed since battle start. Okay, so he starts off for 30, and then after 30, he gets the second one, which is 30% to general damage inflicted. Also increases arts card draw speed level by 1, and plus 35 to own key recovery. How do they, you know what, this is interesting. How are they going to produce cards like this that are screaming sidestep, but then also neuter sidestep repeatedly?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys saw our battle, whatever it's called, battle version 2 video,
yeah,
I sort of explained that there are times where sidestepping is actually pretty good and you still want to use it. But I think that with a card that has, baseline increased arts card draw speed is actually just nuts, by itself. Like,
he's gonna have that regardless. It's not
like
going away.
He switches into the battlefield and he just has that. Like, that's actually really OP.
Yeah.
So I think with something like that, you would still want to do sidestepping and charge stepping, because it over the course of that combo will net more damage than if you didn't do that, just because of his draw speed.
At least it would have in the old battle version. I don't know how it works with battle version.
Yeah,
2.
and not to mention the 35% to key recovery. You know how much more key you can get for doing charge step with that? That's actually absurd. That's
and he does more damage, actually. So he might be like one of the best sidestep units in the game.
Yeah, imagine GT Goku with increased key restore. Basically what this is.
Yeah, that's nuts. Well, that's why I said, like, they clearly have been turning off, like, oh yeah, we don't want you to sidestep and stuff, but they keep producing cards that are made for it. Like, that ability is match made in heaven for that.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just more along the lines of, we don't want every unit to be doing this,
Yeah.
Like we want certain units to be specialists at this sort of style of playing, whereas other units should focus on doing X or Y instead.
Yeah. Well, we come down to the Big Bang Kamehameha. That's getting a lot of controversy as to whether or not he should have that, but whatever. Randomly destroys 2 enemy cards on hit because, again, just because.
Yeah.
just because. The green card restores own key by 40 and cancels attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's a really big. That's a really nice green card.
This is a plus 20 key because it costs 20 anyway. This is a nuts green card. You
It
don't
reminds
lose
me of
anything for this.
It reminds me of a slightly worse for Blue Android 18's green card.
Oh yeah, her green card is still really good.
She still has one of the best green cards in the game because she restores Vanish.
Yeah, it's nuts. So he holds 1/1 to strike and blast cards. He's not a specialist, I would say. He doesn't really care which one he's doing. That's why he doesn't specify getting strike damage or anything like that. So that's cool. It adds more versatility to the unit, I'd say. So he's actually got a really interesting Z ability. So he starts off at he starts off at blast defense, and then at 5-star it goes to strike and blast defense, and 15% Vegito strike attack during battle. You know how nuts that is because it's going to be relevant for any Vegito that ever releases. Blue Vegito, whatever. And it even goes up further at 7. Yeah, exactly. The Super Vegito that's coming out in a few days. Hint, hint. It even goes up further at 40% to strike and blast defense, which is absolutely crazy for any unit that's in that tag. But also a 20% strike damage increase or strike attack increase to Vegito units again. This is devastating. And he's going to be a free 7-star unit eventually, right? So, this is devastating.
Let me just point something out, too. So I'm using Riverbrand as a reference again just because I think she's nuts. But her 7-star Z ability gives female warriors base 23? Strike and blast defense by 25 at 7 stars. 25,
damn.
But this Vegito is almost double that
He's
amount.
40, yep. That's nuts.
He's 40, and then he also gives Vegito's strike. It's a triple buff.
That's nuts. Which, speaking of triple buff, we're going to bookmark that because it does appear that the new Vegito might have triple buff too. So, the other new Vegito.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But
yeah, one day.
in terms of potency, this is the best Z ability in the game, and it's not even close.
Yeah, this is nuts.
If
the
you
only
add
other Z ability I'd even come close to comparing to this would be 5-star Kaioken.
Kaioken, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you add up all of these buffs at 7 stars, that's 100% to just various stats to Vegito characters.
That's nuts, man.
Is this the first time we've seen a Z ability buff a specific character?
Yep, I think so. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think so too, yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
This is actually I was yesterday I got out of a movie and then I opened my DBZ Space to look at this and I literally couldn't believe what I was looking at.
Yeah, this card is
actually
nuts.
absurd.
So, guys, make sure you grind the Vegito because he's gonna be, especially if you plan on pulling the new Vegito, he's gonna be really good. So, thank you all for tuning in.
Huh? Yeah, I was just gonna say even under Mono Red and Saiyans, he was great.
Yeah, this is nuts. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed, of course. Hit that subscribe if you're new. Make sure you do check out Goresh. Link will be down below. We'll be back for some more discussions as we get some more anniversary stuff. So take it easy, everybody. We'll catch all of you guys in the next one.